Hey guys, Alex Mustatea here with Hammer City REI. We are currently standing in my first active real estate investment project that I completed back in June 2020. I want to take the opportunity and talk to you guys a little bit about this project, as well as my journey into active real estate investments. So this journey started late 2019. We acquired this property in January 2020. Then I spent the next 5.5 months renovating this home to turning it into a duplex, legal duplex. So what I'm going to do is give you guys a quick walkthrough of the entire project, and I'll provide some lessons learned, and also how my strategy has changed since then. So we're currently standing in the second suite, the basement suite of this project. This is a 1,100 square foot bungalow, East Hamilton, just off the Red Hill. Again, this was a project that was picked up on the market. I'll talk about the numbers a little bit later. But I wanted to start off in the basement. This is obviously the unit that required the most amount of work. I'll walk you guys through the various renovations and point out some details on what I've completed here. Now, what it's worth, this was a finished basement. We've decided to completely gut it and rebuild it in order to achieve the fire and sound separation requirements as part of the legal duplex conversion project. We've decided to go above and beyond the code by installing the second layer of 5/8 drywall along with green glue. It's a sound dampening compound that basically gets applied to the second sheet of drywall before you put it on. So that process was quite cumbersome. Basically having to install the second sheet of drywall over top of the first sheet and trying to catch the resilient channel behind. There's nothing resilient about this flimsy channel. So, it required a fair bit more patchwork, a lot more effort to actually achieve that above code sound barrier. Also, I really wanted to do pot lights, try to make it modern. Per code, the actual pot lights are not considered fire rated. So what I ended up building is these drywall boxes in between the joist cavity, which now provides an enclosure that still separates the upper unit from the lower unit. So all 6 of them were built in advance. And then once the drywall was up, we were able to cut the holes and install the pot lights. This used to be a wood-burning fireplace. These actual cavities used to be the place where you would put your logs. We've spray foamed them and drywalled the cavities, changed the fireplace to an electric fireplace. Always recommend maintaining an electric fireplace in a rental unit. And then just the brick was in great condition, so we decided to have it painted and give it a more modern look. So this is the kitchen. This is brand new quartz countertop. This was a rental. This was rented for a full year. And this is the conditions as you see it that the tenants have left it in. So from that point of view, I do consider myself to be a very lucky landlord. I have reused some of the appliances, brand new dishwasher, same countertops, quartz countertops, backsplash. You'll notice the egress window. That's a hopper style window. Again, as per Ontario Building Code requirements, that window will open up to allow basically the tenant to escape should there be a fire. That's the main entrance to the basement suite. I've decided to go with vinyl plank at the front entrance, but also commercial style carpet on the stairs. I feel like that's safer. It's also easy to maintain. Right off the entrance, we have the bathroom and laundry combined. We've decided to go with a full-size tub. Highly recommend always using a tub instead of a stand-up shower. Most families that would have a baby would always appreciate a full-size tub. So this is the second of the 2 bedrooms in the basement suite. I'll give you guys just a brief tour of that. Again, the new window. Part of the duplex conversion process is I've decided to upgrade the service to 200 amp and also separate the hydro panel. So this is the basement hydro panel, 100 amp service. It's always, you end up having to rewire the entire house in this process. In this particular case, it was aluminum wiring, so it made that much more sense to go to that extent and incur those additional costs. Moving through the walk-in closet that I built here, leading to also the mechanical room. So there's some details that I'd like to point out here in the mechanical room. So this is the mechanical room. There's multiple ways to achieve the fire separation. In my case, I've decided to fire separate the walls instead of the ceiling because this furnace was already in good condition, so I didn't change it. So the code will call for complete fire and sound separation between the unit, the actual main dwelling, and the mechanical room, which requires 2 layers of 5/8 drywall, fire-rated drywall, a resilient channel, and safe and sound insulation for sound barrier, and 1 additional layer of 5/8 drywall on the inside of the mechanical room. All penetration would use fire separation or fire-rated caulking. Furnace. So again, part of the Ontario Building Code requirements is for the furnace, as you're using one single furnace to heat both units, you're required to have a smoke detector on the cold air return, which ultimately allows the furnace to be shut down. It's hardwired into the motherboard of the furnace. It will shut down the furnace should it detect any smoke in the cold air return, so that way, if there's a fire in the lower unit, it shuts it off, preventing the smoke from going into the upper unit. So part of the legal secondary suite conversion requirements are also to have a fire-rated door on the mechanical room, which has self-closing hinges. So you'll notice this is a 30-minute fire-rated door. There's a stamp for it, and it has self-closing hinges so that you cannot accidentally leave it open. Further behind is the hot water tank. So again, I'm using one single hot water tank to provide hot water for both units, and because of that, I've decided to go as large as possible, as large as they will allow, which is a 75 US gallon tank. Initially, we weren't sure if we were actually going to be able to fit this in here, but it actually works out quite well. This is the main bedroom in the basement suite, the largest bedroom, large window for natural light, and also, I guess, a large double closet with double doors. So upper unit kitchen, same style as kitchen as the downstairs, brand new stainless steel appliances. I've actually kept the flooring. It was in good condition, so I didn't see a need to actually remove the tile. So the initial design up here was for us to actually remove this wall. It is a load-bearing wall. The drawings indicated all the required supports. However, in the process, I've decided that it's not actually worth removing. Costs associated with removing a load-bearing wall didn't seem like it'd be worth it. So instead, what we decided to do is open this up just as a window. There's still a load-bearing member basically carrying the load up top. We put a countertop on so that it can be used as a bar, and it also gives an open concept feeling to the kitchen, dining room / living room. Further in the upper suite, this used to be the access to the basement when it was a single-family bungalow, but this is the ideal spot to actually block off because you need to per code anyway, and install the laundry facility. So we've been able to plumb up the stack laundry and have it installed right where the old steps used to be. 3 bedrooms, relatively good size. I mean, not much was done here aside from flooring, paint, cosmetic renovations to the 3 bedrooms. Windows up top were actually in good condition, so we didn't have to change those. The bathroom, however, this is the one area that I've not actually renovated. As you can tell, the 1950s tile design all the way to the ceiling. However, it's in good enough condition and it was relatively clean. So I've decided not to replace this. There is an additional aspect to it is that we weren't sure what that would do to rent, having a brand new bathroom if this one was in good condition, so we just changed the vanity. All right, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the numbers as well on this project. Purchase price was $470,000. Now, this was closing, we closed on this in January 2020. The times of being able to pick up a 1,000 square foot bungalow in Hamilton for under $500,000 are long time gone. Within months, about 6 to 8 months after we closed on it, there was a very comparable property on the same street that was listed on the market for $570,000. So again, that was considerable market appreciation that took place during the renovations. Additional closing costs were about another $8,000, so $478,000 total acquisition costs. Now, I was in for just shy of $90,000 out-of-pocket costs for the entire renovation. Obviously, that's me, majority of the labor, that was myself, so that's not included in those numbers. Those are out-of-pocket costs. I've outsourced the electrical, outsourced the plumbing, but primarily on the rough-ins only. And I've outsourced the painting, taping, that kind of thing. I've hung my own drywall. I had some help here and there. This is the all mentality, being able to do everything on my own. I even went to the extent of borrowing a trailer from, I guess, a family member that's a general contractor. And it wasn't a dump trailer. It wasn't a hydraulic dump trailer. It was a trailer that we would spend hours loading, drive it to the dump, and then spend hours hand bombing all the garbage into the dump. So again, little things like that I was very adamant to do on multiple reasons. The mentality of always trying to save a penny, lack of confidence that this is going to go the way it did, lack of confidence that there would be sufficient value in this project. Being my first project, the goal was to save every penny where I could. Additional costs. So over the course of a renovation of about 6 months, holding costs, this was a conventional mortgage, holding costs were about $17,000 for the 6 months. It included utilities. It also included the cost of borrowing for the down payment, the 20% down payment of $470, about $95,000. On my line of credit, that was about 4%. So holding costs were about $17,000. Now, upon completion, we were able to have the place appraised for $670,000. 80% loan to value, that basically provided $536,000 refinance. I was in for $584, so therefore at the end of the refinance, I was still about $50,000 left in the deal. However, rental up here was about $2,000 and $1,800 downstairs. So on a $3,800 per month gross rents, I was cash flowing about $400 a month. That's including allowing for vacancy allowance, maintenance, what else? Property management. So this is the true calculation of $400 a month cash flow. The truth is that I would do my own property management. I didn't have vacancies, so in reality, the cash flow was considerably higher. But I'm treating it as a business. So at this point, the numbers would have been $400 a month cash flow. Knowing that both downstairs tenants and upstairs tenants were here for a fixed term, they've given us very good indication that they would move out after 1 year. We decided that once they move out, we would actually put it on the market. The timing played out well. Both of them moved out. I believe the downstairs tenants were out by the end of July, upstairs tenants by mid-August. We didn't even get a chance to put it on the market. Working with my real estate agent, Cindy Zupanovic, she was actually able to bring the buyers at the table. We've negotiated very favorable terms. So ultimately, we were able to sell for $885. So by the time I factor in all the costs, the total gross profit on this project was just shy of $300,000. So that was a fantastic return on investment. What started out to be a legal conversion project with a long-term buy and hold plan, only as far back as January 2020, turned out to be a long-term flip.